Hey yo, mm, let's see. Right. Well, let's see. So the last thing I was working on, well, I've come a long way, so, but I'm working on a notification preferences. Um, let me just show you what it should look like. V v0.tech v v0.dev. Um, so it's not going to copy this entire thing, but it's gonna look very similar. Um, I have I am supporting only two channels, push notifications and email. In the future, I might support SMS, but right now in the MVP, just push and for push notification, I'm using Open Signal. I need to use MVM, use 20. I think it's one signal, not Open Signal. My bad. PHP. Maybe if you guys recall, I used to stream every night, but one of the main reason why I stopped is because I didn't want to expose anything. I didn't want to expose any of those, you know, secret credentials. So that's the reason. I was doing a lot of server configuration and all of that, and I decided to just stop streaming because I kept, I had to keep hiding my screen every now and then. So yeah. All right. So let me walk you through. Just a little walkthrough. It's probably for myself or future self. Look it or not, I do watch about my streams. Um, let's see. All right, so uh, I did a lot of things. I'm using repository pattern. I'm using the DTO pattern, um, and I'm using services as well. It's kind of messed up because I have services in HTTP here, right? I have a few interfaces and all of that. Also, I had a have a dev environment now. So if you go to dev.testground.com, yeah, it's still basically the same thing. There's not a lot that's there. There's, so don't log in. I think the database is not working. But I'm just gonna continue working on this. Oh yeah, I'm planning to change UI. I'm planning to go with, let me show you the dashboard. Alright, so as you can see, I have this. This is connecting to Open Signal. So I have what I call a stupid hack in terms of like real-time notifications. So my API sends a signal, so to speak. So my API sends a signal to the front end, and the front end will display this thing, right? Front end will do its thing and try to display whatever. But this is uh, the new UI. Uh, and this is working. That's good to know. So okay. So as you can see here, this is actual fetching data, right? So right now we have 100% success rate. We have 24 telltale runs. We have 54 test suites. And we have, what is this? 66 total tests. And we have the latest runs 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, past, upon. We have upcoming schedules, test run, monthly 1 day from now. Yeah, this needs to be fixed. I was just trying to get the data going and the notification working. So the idea is that this bar will go, but right now I'm just focusing on trying to get the notification. What's going on here? Just refine. Why is this not loading everything? Interesting. Oh, alright. So here I found a bug. I need to look into that. Alright. Need to look into that. But for now, I keep things simple. Alright, so if I go here and click one of these, it's not updating. Oh, I think I know why it's not updating. So as you can see here, right, when you click on a notification, um, you're not going to see this is what's happening. So these, all of these are from the database. As you can see, if you zoom really far in, you can see that these are actually not bars. So all of these are from the database, and it's possible to change them. Now, the reason why they're not being changed is because the state or the reactiveness is not working properly. So here I'm using um, his email. So what I'm planning to do, right? I think this should work, is to send a event to update the parent component. So call it change pref, basically change preference. And then once that is sent, right, I send the ID, I send the value, right, and I send the name. So the value here is always going to be true or false. So when this is sent, um, it will just find where the ID is and set the value to this. I mean, field name, I don't know. if I really need that. Let me just console log this. So field name here is email. Okay, cool. Is it yeah, it's always using okay. So the way this is that all of these are email. It should have at least three different fields. As I said, we have email, um, actually two. So you can turn these on and off for email, this, that, or you can turn off the entire, um, you can turn off the entire well, not reason, but you can turn off the entire notification. So I have, no, I don't think, yeah, but they kind of redundant to have enable. Because if you look at the database, I have, let's go here, I have enable as a field, but it's not needed. Although I think I'm checking if it's enabled or not. This is what happens when you code from. Let's see, I think it's in the service. Yeah. Um, I think I'm checking whether or not it's enabled. Let's go to here. So where you're sending notifications. Get preference enabled. Yeah. So the idea is that they can turn off email, password, or they can disable it completely. But I don't think I need it on the front end. What I should do is that maybe I would have to, because I don't want to edit this, right? I mean, it's just a simple query. So even if I drop the column, it should still work, right? Wait, let me look at the database. 1 second. Let me look at the database. Yeah, because yeah, if I drop the column, it should still work. Because if you go user notification preferences, we're looking at the table here. We have the preference ID and the notification type ID, which is email or push notifications, right? And we're seeing whether or not that's enabled. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. But by default, everything is enabled. That's where. Oh, so it would mean that for each of these, you can tell whether or not you want it to be enabled. So I think this is what would change whenever you disable. Oh, this is actually the field that will change whenever you disable a notification. Yeah, so I had it incorrect mentally because as you can see, I have this is enabled um field here, but I don't need that, right? I don't need that. So wait, um, when we get the notifications, let's go to notification settings and then right, right here we're getting the preference and then we're formatting the data. Let's see how I format it. Because I should, oh, I'm passing is enabled, but see, I don't need to, I need to pass this, I guess. Oh, I see where I went wrong. In the preference row, it should not be, um, this should not be the value. This is not the value that should be displayed because I'm gonna copy email here. Let me look at this thing again. Because if we go back to notification section, right? We go to notification section. You can see here, I'm sending his email. So how I determine, wait, this is, yeah, um, this is a prop that's passed to this. I need to go to notification settings. Yeah. So who am I sending this? Oh, oh, I see the misconception that I had. Wait, wait, wait. This is, oh, ah, I see why I did that. So it's true that we don't need is enabled. Alright, here's why I'm thinking like this. Um, I think this is poor design. Hmm. Alright, so the reason I'm thinking like this is because we have email. So this is for 25, and we have push notification. That's enabled for the first one, right? So as you can see, 9, right? 9 is payments. Oh, okay. Oh, this is a different user, as you can see. So payments, what is this user have payments turned on 2 times? Okay, that's beyond the point. Um, right here, we have payments and we have email, right? So we have email now we have payments. Now, the problem with this is that each of these is like if it's not in the table, then it's not enabled. So that's the reason why I have enabled for all of them. But I think what I'm trying to do here is to say if it's in the table and you remove it and you update it or disable it, then do not delete it, but just enable it. That's what I'm getting from this. But I don't know. This is messed up, bro. Why did I do this? I must have been sleeping. Nigga. There must be a easier way to do it. And I really don't want to go back to the entire process of writing the code and ensuring that it works this specific way. I mean, we can have, um, wait, wait a minute. Um, I know that each user, I know that each user have a specific, thing enabled. Uh, I call it default. Um, so when I create a user, the default preference is created, right? I don't think it's this. Uh, yeah, this is the proceeding play ID. Um, notification preference zero. So here we have no, it's not that default notification. Yeah. So this is it, right? All right. So we have the defaults, critical stuff, push notification, and all of that. right? Um, let's see. I have a user ID here. We have notification preference ID and a channel ID. So that's whether or not it's an email or a password or whatever. As you can see, some of these are missing some of the channels, right? So for example, weekly reports only have email as a channel, right? But it doesn't have, um, I don't know what the ID for this is. I think it's a way to say it's three, right? So if we go here to the database and look for anything on the preference ID with three, we have weekly reports. So that's email, right? You realize that we don't have another three through this list. The only way we end up with another three if it's a different user, right? So if someone wants to enable something for weekly reports, then it would create that. But if they want to disable, it would delete it. That's the idea I'm getting, but I don't think that's intention. I think what should happen is if someone wants to delete something, if someone wants to enable something, then we add it. If it's already there, we just disable it. Yeah, so that sounds a bit better. Don't even know how this has strayed into that, but um, yeah. So that's a schema. If someone is creating is if the permission doesn't exist, then we create it. If the permission exists, then we update it. Yeah. So that would mean that we would have to check whether or not the person has that permission and then we update it, which is, I guess, is okay. So what I was saying is that so we emit this value. We have the name of the field. Now, this is confusing. So we have the field name being emitted, right? Let's look at this. All right, so based on this, right? If I emit a value and I want to handle this value and the change right now, I just have this. I think let's see if I have it or not. Okay, I have it. I have it. So it should console from change. Okay, so if I click this, it's not emitting. I don't think it's emitting. This is coming from preference rule, but it should emit something to. Is it not called? Is it not getting the right value or something? No, it's definitely called. Hmm. Right, you know what? Maybe let's see. So I'm gonna go to. Yeah, I think I see why. Yeah, that's an issue. Let's go to preference, and maybe this should be like this. And then let's emit an event. Right, let's reload because maybe it's not loaded. Really hope that it was downloaded. Alright, so the value for this is true. So the value that we want to send is false, which would mean that hey, this is disabled. Then we would send that to the server. But the problem is I want to handle all of that. You know, you know, maybe I don't want to handle it in the preference or component. I want to handle it in a single endpoint slash component. Um, yeah, this is Yeah, so that's really the issue. So it's easier, you know, in my head, right? It's easy to just, I mean, this is emitting a value, right? But in my head, it is easier to just go directly. Yeah, let's figure out why is this is not emitting because it seems like we can't pick up this. Mm, maybe, but it's an event. You should be able to pick it up. Um, do we not? Are we not calling a method or missing a value? What's up? But it would have given us an error if we were missing a value. Notification section. Oh, I think I see what's happening. Maybe it thinks that it would be emitted from here when I put it on that component. Is that all? Emitter? Hmm. Emit Yes. Let's look at something like double three scores. Alright, but then I thought you can create a custom event, try comment and can capture in a parent element. How far up does emit go? Emit um let's look at this. The parent can then listen to it using the on the parent can listen to the on some we can call back ones like components and props. Event names provide a automatic case formation. What is we emitted? Okay, my case event. Yeah, I realized that. That's why I changed it. But event arguments, clearing events. I'm using the options API. So emit validation. Hmm. I'm missing something. I must be missing something. I'll change it. Call returns a boolean to indicate whether okay, well, it should be calling that function and it should be console login, but it's not. Um, let's see, where's this coming from? So it's coming from the hand, so I know this is being called, but it's seem as if this is not being called. Is it is the case where um the, the naming? Let me check if the name of the event that I am listening for is incorrect, because that might be the issue. Let's see. Oh, wait, did I change it? Did I not change this? Change the perf. Okay. Is it the case that that was using? It should be displaying two things. One of them should be from event, blah blah blah. It should just be a different message. But I'm seeing only one thing happening. This is not being passed to the parent component, which is weird because it should be working. Even this is a parent. Oh, um ah this is what I was thinking, right? Um, maybe it's a case where um it is in it is in a single. Let me see if I can find a chart. Um, I don't know this problem. Yeah, Let's see if I can. Yeah, I think this is yeah. All right. Yeah, yeah. Can I skip continue? Okay, cool. Okay. I'm an engineer. I don't know what that should have skipped that. Uh, don't ask me anything else. Okay. So here's the thing. Um, so canvas. Can I not just? Can I thought I could just draw something. Okay. So this is what I am thinking. Right. Here is a component. Right. Here's a tree. We have a prop component here, and we have the parent component, and then this encloses the the grandparent component, right? So the event, it should really not look like this, you know. Okay, should not really, they should not look like this. You'd have a child and then this child. So then what I'm thinking is that this child component emits something, right? And it gets emitted to here. And this is like, oh, hey, this guy sent me a message, right? But when I am in this component, it just doesn't make any sense when I draw it out. Like, it's like if it emits to this component, then this component should be able to see that same event and react to that same event. So I don't get why it's not emitting or it's not working properly. I don't. Oh wait, why did I do that? It should be like that. Um, that was a mistake. Anyway, well, one way to test the theory, right, is to oh, one way to test the theory is to go here. I'm thinking that, yeah, what I'm thinking is that the event has to be emitted. So this component would be able to hook into that event, right? But this component would not be able to because it's not emitted from this component. So it's like a tree structure, but only one person can react to that event. So the question to ask is, are Vue.js emits global events? That's the question to ask. Yeah, this is yes, emit using emit method or local to component instance and not intended for parent communication events. For global event handling, you can create an event bus using a new Vue instance. This allows component to communicate across different levels of hierarchy. You have event bus equal new Vue event. Uh, okay. I think I understand this. So you create a new Vue, whatever, and then this is like creating a object, but then meeting can then maybe it's about design then. Maybe what I'm doing is about design because so I was right. It's only child to parent. The child can only talk to the parent and the parent can only talk to the child, not the other way around. Um maybe maybe I could use state management to do that. I mean, we could update the state of um of the object that's passed because uh, hmm, I mean yeah, we could use state management because once so instead like here's what I'm thinking. Let's probably go back to the diagram. So get rid of this. Uh, All right. Oh my God. So here's what I'm thinking, right? Just get this a bit small. All right. Oh, what can I say? Hmm. All right. So we would have a child. Would have this is a prop, not prop. This is a preference column, right? The preference column. The thing is, I'm thinking of multiple, like someone adjusting multiple. Maybe we could put it in an event, but could it is the case that could view components react to state management changes? Yeah, like um can view components react to state. Well, maybe let's use a library name like pname. What am I using? Vuex state changes. Answer is no. Let's see. Let's see here. State management Vuex. But no, what I'm just gonna ask AI, bro. It's way faster. Can state. Let me just uh, did copy it. Did where is it? Is it this? Is this? No, this. This isn't. Oh, here it is. Let's see what this is. Yes, component can also react to Vuex state changes. That's kind of the whole point. Okay, a component can access Vuex state and automatically re-render when the state changes because Vuex state is reactive. Okay, so that's what I'm saying. Um, we would so instead of emitting an event and doing all that nonsense, which was probably a bad way to do it, to be honest, right? We would we would update the state with the items that needs to change, right? So the way I'm looking at it is that we could have a single variable here, and then once something changes here, we could push that object into some kind of array, and then we would have the notification listening or watching that state, and then once that state changes, then we would push it to the API. I know this doesn't make any sense, but this is just like a different stages. So he's listening, you know, he's like, oh, this guy want to update this, push it to that. This guy want to update this, but then because it's a state, once we update the API, we need to reset the state to null. right? Or maybe we could make it reflect in the API. So what we could do is once a state changes, then because the entire component would be re-rendered, then we could pass the correct well, I just saw something and it would actually slow down the application to be honest. But then I don't know, like because oh, this is Flutter design, I think, because like this is coming here, right? And then I would have to, bec- well, the application would be re-rendered, so maybe that's a good thing. So since the component would be re-rendered, then I was thinking maybe I could let, because it's a row, you know, the row it has the switches and all of that. Maybe I could just handle it directly here. I was trying to avoid that, but maybe it's better to handle it here. It's actually easy to handle it here because I have the ID, I have the email, I have the name of the field. I have more than enough information to send back to the API to say, hey, this is what I want to change. So, because this is like overkill and over designed to me. I think the that way is like too much. And then even if it's passing it into the notification setting, I was thinking about architecture and maintainability. But if I have it here and someone comes in and they're like, oh, it's updating this, they would know the component that's responsible for that. Right? But if they see a view row component and they look in it and they're like, oh, this is the row. So when I do this, then that happens and whatever. You understand? So I think that's the way to go. But the issue is this though. Um the the issue, right, the main problem with this is that this thing, right, because I am fetching it from the email, is like once it I would have to change the value. Oh, that's actually easy. Just do this. That is, oh, uh, this is the reason why I couldn't do it because props are meant to be read only. So I can't edit a prop, but I can edit this email object here. So if I do this and then I do this, well, I'd have to do this dot email is not so basically the opposite of what it was before and send it off. Then it, the way I'm looking at the API side of things would be way easier to handle. So, you know, it makes sense to do it that way. Yeah, there it is. It's working. I think it's not working. Oh, wait. Wait, what? Wait, it should. Wait. Why is it that it's like it doesn't respond? I close it, but then I can't close it again. What's happening? There's no bug, I'm sure of that. Yeah, let's say once I update it, I can't update it again. What's happening? Uh, let's see. Oh, wait, wait a minute. Hmm. Mm-hmm. Wait. I think I might have an idea as to what's happening. Alright. Oh, because I'm sending that. I should send his email. Ah, I see this. Okay, I don't need to send this actually. Yeah, I don't need it. Because this is a rule. everybody here is, the valley. This that is email, and then I do this, and I console log this. Do that. Get rid of this. So the log right there. Alright, so here by setting email to that, so you should fix that. You said that we were having or we couldn't. Huh? Oh, okay. Should be comma. Ah, come on, what the hell? Why is it always false? Like the opposite of false is true, innit? So, like what the hell? What am I doing wrong? I'm stupid. Ah, man. Right, let's see again. What am I doing wrong this time? Oh, I see what I'm doing wrong. Is valid. Is that's a problem. I see that's a problem. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like I'm in circles now. Because the issue is, even though his email changed, this does not change. This stays the same the entire time. So because it stays the same, when I click this, even though it's false, right? You can see the state change and all of that. It cannot, yeah, it's like you cannot change it, but because it's always going to be equal to this, right? It's always going to be equal to this. One way to do that though is to say if um yeah, I don't know. I don't know, bro. I was trying to avoid going back to this component. So I don't want anything to go back to it. But I think I have to make something about it because I need to update the state for that. So as I said, um, I still need a store. So I need a let's see. I still need notification preferences. So let's just call this notification. Right, let's see how I do this because I haven't done this in a while. So. All right, so import a type, then we do that. Then we get the setters and all of that. Um, another thing, another thing I remember. Okay, so we have state. So my state instead of this, it would be like changes and then well probably preference changes and then an array and then here we would be pushing things into that array, right? And then once the state, so what should happen though? I don't want it to always be. I mean, it's okay to load everything from the API, right? But is it fun? I mean, it should be fast enough. Let's just go with that. It should be fast enough. So when I update this, then you know, it does its thing. Yeah, I think I know what to do. only save when the person says save. So that way everything is in the view. Um, ah, ah, I think I see what I need to do. So instead of sending this as a prop, send it as a, yeah, that would make it easier to handle. So instead of passing this as a prop and doing all of that nonsense, pass it or set it as a state. And then we would use that state within this component. And then when we change a value, we would be able to say, oh, where ID is equal to this, change that. You get me? So, yeah, so we wouldn't pass the, like to the, we would still need to pass that, right? But we wouldn't, right? Let's, the return perf, yeah. So, here we have formatted data and then this. Okay, so we have this setting. We would make this be set to a store. For example, here, so import um, type store options, and then what was it? Okay, so const notification. I think like this. Store options, and then we call this, I think, should it be like that? Yeah, it should. Okay, let's see what's happening. Um, I need state. Let's wait, this. Oh, oh, okay. I have the wrong thing. I just realized what I did. Yeah, I'm off my game, nigga. Okay, so we have that, and then we would have state. So that's one thing that we need. And in the state, we would have the I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. We would have something like notification underscore preferences, and then we would have this the type. What is that? The type. So the type would be an array, and that array would contain notification. I don't remember. It's called notification setting. Okay. I don't know why I call it setting, but whatever. Uh, I mean it's setting, but it's not setting. That makes sense. Oh wait. Something is off. Uh, is this? Oh, and then this would be. Does this work? I mean, this work? I don't know. So next thing we need is as I said, I haven't listened around. So we have actions. So okay, I need to go back to documentation because I don't remember shite, nigga. Let's go here. View X. Vux, not Pina. What you calling Pina, nigga? Vux. Okay. Let's see. What are mutations? Okay, so this is when it is change the state, their actions. A similar to mutation, the difference being that instead of meeting the state, action commit mutations. Huh? Huh? What? Action commit mutations. Oh, okay. I think I get it. Think I get it. Think I get it. It's a mutation. Okay, cool. Think I get it. So by looking at this, then I can see these are the actions, and then it would commit the mutations. So the mutation is like, hey, change this to false, hey, change this to true, stuff like that. So my question is, how do I pass a value? Okay. Okay. You can pass additional arguments in store that commit. Which is called payload or mutation. Okay, cool. So we need an action. So we need a mutation on the mutations. So that so the mutation we're gonna call it set. So we need two mutations. We have one called set um notification preferences. That's a long name, but I describe what it does. That's me. That's how it functions. The next thing is that we need the state. That's one thing. And we want the payload. Now the state can be any. I don't know what states are like. And the payload. I'm kind of. Oh, for this, the payload would be an array of these guys. Multiplication setting. Bro, this thing is annoying. All right, so now, so this is what we would do. Um, let's just make this null, right? Then we could do state dot uh notification preferences is equal to payload, and that's it. And then we would have something like update notification setting. I think this is actually the best way to do it. I don't know why I was trying to avoid using state. It's like so much simple. Just get yourself a bit comfortable. Alright, so here you would have like you'd have a state, and then um, I know I shouldn't say any, but whatever. And then here you would have the payload, and then the payload is notification setting. Now, should send about the entire notification setting. Hmm. Hmm. Because do we want to remove it from the array, or do we just want to update one value? You know, it's best to update one value. So I think I'm gonna make the payload be a boolean. So we know. Oh, wait. Let me just define it. Interface. I don't remember how the hell they define that. I said that interface would be called update object, maybe. And then with the types, we would have something like for the types, we could have something like valid, or is not be cool, and then we could have ID. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Now doing it. Zero or number. Right. And then here we could put a date object. I'm gonna move this into the types, whatever. This is types file and import it. So it can just maybe so here. I don't know exactly where to go to find it. Alright, so that's one thing done. And then so we need to sweep, we need to shuffle, we need to filter, filter, filter. First we gotta check if the state is empty or not, right? So we do state dot length is equal to 0. Then we want to return because there's nothing in the state to do. And however, the state is nothing. Then we need to filter this array to find the ID and update the value. Now, this is the thing. We need to know what was updated. And so that's an issue, right? So what? It's kind of hard to track, right? Because it's kind of hard to track because uh, there can be more than one thing that's updated, which is why I can't have one value in a state, and it's a state, which means um, it's it's rows and it's state. It's a single state. So I'm thinking to have something like IDs and then be some kind of array. Can I be doing that here? Let's make it an empty array. So the idea is that every state that's updated would be pushed here, right? That every single ID that's updated will be pushed here. And then what I can do on the database side, right? Like since I know, like I don't want to assume that, so let's just send the current values over there. So what I can do is, yeah, I think I have it figured out. Oh my God. Oh, I can just get it back from the state because once it's changed, then I can just say where ID is equal to that, then update this and just call the method that would update it. Yeah, I think it should be working. Um, so let's just filter this array, right? So payload. Oh, we have the update object. Okay, what we want to filter is state dot uh, notification preferences dot filter. And do that, and then I think I should check whether or not this is off. I see we haven't run there. This, this, and then we need to do this as well. Check that this is not equal to no. So if it's equal to no, or it's a length is 0, then return it. And then we can move on here. I mean, there might be bugs here that I'm not seeing right now. Such is life. Um, I haven't used filter in a while. But just to pass ref. Um, what? Is it has a type A? Why is it only one of them? Why is it a problem? Import state from Steam. What the hell? Because I have see, I can go on that state. Let's see what I did here. Created an interface, exported it, and then use it there. Because this is stupid, this error is dumb. I don't know. Yeah. What do you want it to do? Do I need to use map then? I mean, we did not use need filter to this. I can do if um ref.id is equal to keyword dot id, then we will do print dot the value is equal to keyword dot value. That's what I do. What do I need the full thing? Filters are all weird, but I need to figure out what this is. So I think it's because you don't have a type for this stupid stage. I don't know. Mm, That's why I did this here. But I don't know what the hell to do because all of them are using the same thing. So these are simple. But this is a bit more complicated. I need to figure out why this is a problem here. It's saying the parameter is implicit as type in, should it not? I think it should not. Should have notification setting up type. And then that's not allowed. What? Oh, 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 this isn't attached to physical because now I realize that um it's not that simple. At least the way that I did it, it's not that simple. So I need to update. I need to update the state of this thing to be something else. We need to update the state of this to be zero. As in, like I need to know if the it does it have ID though? It has ID. It has a name. How does it have? Oh, that's because it's a preference name. Yeah. Um, we don't need to know the preference name. We just need to know what channel should be enabled. But how would we? I mean, yes, I could pass it. It could be an option. So, like, if we go here, we could say channel, right? And this could be a string. But then here it would make the code a bit more complicated because I can't just say, hey, dash value that. I would have to figure out what is the pref, what is the channel, right? But that should be simple as well, but it not because I could literally do this. Uh, channel, but of course, this one's allow me to. I mean, I could use a switch case though. Could do switch, uh, and then the key would be ref dot name. Wait, is it pref or payload? Payload dot channel, and then do we only support two channels right now? I could have email. I'm gonna add the three of them. Email, push, or SMS. So what we would do is, if it's email, then we'd do pref dot is email is equal to pref, well, not pref, payload dot body, and then it would basically be the same, just like it would be is push and is SMS, and then yeah, that should update the state. Um, I think this should return a new value. Let me just, I'm honest, okay. What I can do is console dot log this, um, state dot notification preferences. Alright. Let's export this. export notification. Export the full notification. One thousand seconds.